Howdy, Banger pals. Blayne Smith welcoming you to another Overkill Reviews, Banger's weekly metal review show. I was at the Savage Master and Night show last night, so I am currently suffering. So let's do some easy listening review. It's toss to a clip.
I see the dawnlight rise up round the edge of the sky. I reach up into the night. I grab my sword to fight. Man, all you millions of fools down in your swimming pool. I am collecting hell. I am the last man left. I am a tower. I am a tower.
Yes, a little late, but today I'm talking about the new album from Swans called Birthing. It came out May 30th on Mute and Young Gods Records.
I am a tower.
So you probably already know Swans, or have at least seen the teeth on a t-shirt at a concert. They are one of the biggest experimental bands in rock music. They were created by Michael Gira in 1981 and are maybe the most prolific act to emerge from the whole New York no-wave scene. There is a great book on the scene called No Wave. I don't know how easy it is to find a copy these days, but I have one, so I guess fine, you can borrow it, but you better return it. Why am I reviewing a Swans album that came out May 30th right now? I don't know. Craig asked me to review it, and while I am the dumbest guy around here, I am also the art house guy, and yes, I am occasionally willing to do my job as per request. Probably should have checked this before agreeing to the review, but unfortunately for me, Swans have continued their 2010s thing of putting out 2-hour albums, so it's just double the work for me. Yay! As I'm sure you can guess, a lot of that runtime is made up of droning sections, drawn out, meditative passages. There are absolutely moments of action in between these, but I don't think anyone was expecting a 2-hour bombastic explosion of riffs. So if I'm gonna hear some bells jingling while someone says some gibberish in my ear for 7 minutes, it better sound good. Thankfully, I keep trying to say Gira Japanese. Gira producing his own albums isn't just an ego trip. This might be one of the best sounding records I've ever heard. And it sounds that way on everything, from my studio monitors to my over-ears to even wireless earbuds I use when I'm walking the dog. Hell, it would probably still sound amazing on $5 gas station headphones. The texture on this thing is like taking some good psychedelics and lying down on the most plush carpet in the world in like a 70s conversation pit. If I had a giant mansion, I'd be bringing back the conversation pit. There's a dog bark on I Am a Tower that I legitimately had to rewind to make sure it was the album and not one of my dogs barking. I'm also dog sitting a friend's dog, so there are 3 dogs in my house, so there was a lot of barking during this album. It's all the more impressive because there are a lot of styles on this that need to be differently massaged to really get the best out of them, but whether it's minimal folk or imperial triumphant level cacophony, a saxophone squealing wildly, this is a perfect representation of how all of those things should sound. Literally no notes. No, there's music notes. I mean, I don't have notes. All right, so the waiting room of the record is comfy. They've got nice chairs, cool magazines, but I'd still be pissed if I was waiting around for nothing. And usually I'm pretty happy with the results on both a micro and macro scale. On the micro within the songs, there aren't any tracks that are just minimal pitter-patter nonsense. There is a lot of minimal pitter-patter nonsense, to be sure, but if you endure or enjoy it, depending on your tastes, eventually you will get something at the end of the road. No track is just straight interlude waste of time whooshing sound. All 7 have something I enjoy contained within, and while I'd hurry things the hell up. When you combine payoffs with the excellent sound quality, the burrs are certainly smoothed out a bit. On the macro scale, the album dials up the weirdness as things go on, and once you're past that hour mark, all the tracks are giving you a different weird look, and dear God, did I just say past the hour mark? Why do things have to be so long? And while, yes, it is long, it's still Swans. So there are good ideas in here, resulting in one of those challenging but rewarding listening vibes. Now, if we really zoom out and you've been listening to Swans for a long time, and more so if you've been keeping up with the 2010 and on Swans, whether there's payoff in getting to this record is a little bit more mixed, as there's nothing groundbreaking here. There's no new different thing from something else you'd find in the catalog, but it is still portions of the Swan catalog reflected in high quality. Anyways, I've been talking for a very long time, so here is an especially sinister part of the merge for you. This section's just called art because it's about art. Welcome to Art Talk with Blayne Smith. And it's sort of mixed, but red plus green equals brown, and we don't need a doo-doo colored title card up there. It's a mostly positive section, so I'm sticking with green. I am the go-to guy at Banger for arty stuff. I have a pretty high tolerance for when things get wacky. I've seen James Chance live. My favorite sci-fi series is The Book of the New Sun. My computer background is a scene from House. Not that House, the Japanese House. My point is, you have a fair amount of rope with me. I'd put my resistance level to art nonsense at 6 or 7 out of 10. So, in the world of weird listens, this isn't that out there and feels like a record a lot of people can enjoy if they get past the sort of sticker shock runtime, 2 hours. They've definitely made songs. They're just stretched out like that Laffy Taffy, that Laughing Taffy. So I am the art guy, but as that demonstrated, I am also a moron. I'm sort of a Clement Greenberg style fraud in that I am very dumb and don't know anything and just accidentally wound up with taste that resonates with people. And just like Greenberg, I am too a CIA asset. Jackson Pollock was a psyop. Did you know that? It's true. You can look it up. So when don't say it Japanese. So when Jira, I just want to say Gojira, says, I am the mother of our daughter. My wings spread out across the sky. She fell from heaven, but I caught her. It's very slowly said too, so you can really soak all the words in. Or when a song says, I alone will fix it 15 times, and then a bit later it says another 15 times. I have had enough art. This is too much art. I couldn't possibly eat another art. I am simply full of art. Thank you very much. To quote a RuPaul song, never thought I'd say that here. Yes, I am once again blaming it on the edit. I don't get what it is with these old guys and taking up so much of my damn time. Hey, Metallica, why was 72 Seasons an hour and 20 minutes long? Martin Scorsese, why is The Irishman 209 minutes long? And yes, why is this record an hour and 55 minutes long? I get that time is relative and it's 71. If you lose focus, 2 hours just disappear. But can we phone a friend when putting an album together? I know Swans have put out some pretty good 2-hour albums, but like one of the most effective tracks on the record is Red Yellow, and shocker, it's the only one on the record shorter than 10 whole ass minutes. It's weird trip hop kind of thing, and with squealy horns. It stays around just long enough to be compelling without giving me the art icks. It's awesome. And when you add to that the 3 longest tracks on the record are the first 3, and the weirder stuff is tucked away in the back 9, as I mentioned earlier. So every time I fire this thing up, I feel like that meme of the 2 guys with the pickaxe, and there's that big thing of gold, and one of the guys is just giving up before he pickaxes there. And I'm sort of both those guys here, because I do eventually get to the gold, but sometimes I am just like, 2 hours, man. As in every review for this record, I have to note that Jira said this is the end of the big sound era of Swans, and I think if we just edited some of these longer, simple sections down, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, we could have gotten a tight record that sort of summarizes the past decade of Swans material and put a nice period, a nice pin on things for them to jump off into the new sound that we have been told is coming. And this album does not sound like a new sound, so it feels like it could have been a retrospective. But let's transition to the review close with the cool vibe of Red Yellow, because I do enjoy the album, and I want, you should hear some of it. It sounds so good. This is a challenging album to review because A, I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but the album's 2 hours. Mostly, though, it's because Swans is an incredibly long-running act with a massive catalog. Like, if you just wanted to listen to Swans' main full-length releases, no Jira going off and doing his own thing, no EPs, it's over 20 hours of material. And since I don't believe in reviewing albums in a vacuum, I have to think, is this an essential part of that canon that can't be found anywhere else? It's solid stuff, to be sure, and I think if the album got a Edward Scissorhands treatment, it would be a really great way to summarize this era of Swans. But at 2 hours, it's just some strong material from a band with a lot of really strong material. So, still strong, but essential? Yeah, I don't know about that. So that's why I'm giving it a smile, a happy review score of 3.5 out of 5 Clement Greenbergs. So did you listen to Swans? Are you a Swans fan? Swans is, again, one of those bands that isn't technically metal, but, is generally embraced by the metal community and has influenced a wide variety of metal bands. So let me know in the comments below. But if we're not done, I have a shout out. It's shout out time. And can you believe it? I have something that's pretty Swans-like that came out this month. Isn't that crazy? I managed to do it. It is a massive coincidence, but I am taking credit for it. So, have you ever thought to yourself, what if Michael Jura was a black guy from Toronto? Probably not, but now we have an answer to what that would sound like, and it's Quentin Barnes' Black Noise on Watch That Ends the Night Records. This is Swans if it was a hip-hop R&B project, but a hip-hop R&B project in the very same way that Swans is a rock band, That's loosely. We're using the genres very loosely here. It's quite cool stuff. It is very much outside the metal wheelhouse, obviously, but so is Swans. So today is experimental, weird saxophones going crazy in the background review day. And you know I love that. Bye.